First of all, I'm gonna let you know, Dave called me at 10 o'clock. He's not feeling well, I think he's okay, but we decided it'd be better he keeps his germs at home than spreading the gift to all of us, okay? Gloria has an excuse absence tonight. It's her daughter's birthday, so she's spending time with her daughter tonight. She did give me something that I'll read later on. Pam, do you want to explain what's going on with your family?
We need to move this meeting along. Joe and I are heading to Toledo tonight because my daughter's having a baby at 5:30, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'm going to be there. So we need people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Get started.
That's right.
And we're all for that.
Just so everyone knows, we will not be doing comments from the public tonight. I mean,
Sorry, guys, but I gotta
Mayor,
go.
council, but, okay? All right, so the general concerns will just start, everyone's got one, correct? All right, meeting location. So we need to decide or talk about where we're gonna meet, here or the fire hall.
I like the fire hall, it's cooler. More spacious.
There's more room, for sure. There's more room, and especially right now, it's cooler. And I think that we're a little bit congested right here. We end up talking and they can't hear us very often. So I think that will help that because we'll have to project over there. But I think there's a lot of benefits to it. I thought the acoustics were worse there and it was harder to hear. The way we were set up previously, yeah, you know, if we go to the other end, I think it looks nicely. So,
Angie, ready to play?
I'm thinking if we want more people to attend, even though we do have the video, which lets people who are housebound and who just don't want to come to the meetings, they can view the meeting. It would make sense because there's a little more room and we could probably do something where people would like just talk a little louder and so people can hear us. But it might be a good idea.
Brenda, what do you think?
I wasn't at the meeting last at the fire hall, but it doesn't matter to me.
What about if we did workshop here and did the meeting there? Or does that,
What is your thought about having it here?
I like it here because it is closer, but I mean, I like this better, I just like it better, I don't know why. But we're getting more people involved, and that's what we wanted,
yeah.
so,
Yeah, I think Angie's got a good point, you know, that does kind of open up, especially, I know people that come with kids, they want to sit in the back so they can scoot if they need to, you know, and that gives them, the fire hall has a lot more room, so they could sit in the back with their children and not feel like they're being disruptive.
But on the part, if you wanted to, maybe like you said, split workshop here.
I mean, it's just an idea. I mean, it seems like you
Yeah,
guys
that
wanted to go,
I thought it was going to be at the fire hall today, so I went and I sat at the tables at the other end, and then had the seats like
you know,
towards the
you
kitchen.
know you gotta put them up there.
I did. I already did.
Okay.
I then got the email, and then it was a lot better because it was a little bit more away from the refrigerator that runs constantly, and I did test if you could still hear while I was talking at our tables where we would be sitting with the person in the last row.
Okay,
So I set up 3 rows of chairs.
so fire hall?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, code of conduct, I'm gonna ask for help.
Well,
Or do you have it in front of you?
I've got a question. So the paperwork that's here, who came up with the agenda? Because we were missing a couple items. And the items that we're reviewing tonight, who were presenting these? Is this from you, Sam?
What are we missing?
No, well, I asked about the meet and greet being added to the agenda for tonight. But so who, is this your agenda?
I'm working.
You did, okay. And the items that are being presented. Are these your items to present, Sam? or-
Yes, but I gotta explain, so, transparency. Barb came down and met me in the cemetery a couple days ago, so we had a nice chat. We agree on a few things, so that's good. And, some of this was the code of conduct type stuff. So she actually, I wrote it, but she had ideas with it. So would you mind, because I'm doing too much talking, could you read this? And this is,
We'll go back. Meeting at the fire hall and workshop here.
Everything, a fire hall.
fire hall here, right? Barb, would you, or
Do you want me to read all of this?
just all of this, and then I've got two things I'll explain. This is just for us to talk about.
Yeah, these
If you
are
want to add to it, get rid
These are our
of
drafts for the.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Rock Creek Village Council meeting code of conduct. A village council meeting conduct.
Come on, Zoom.
Yes. A village council meeting code of conduct sets out the expected behavior, procedures, and ethical standards for council members, staff, and participants during official meetings. It ensures meetings are conducted efficiently, fairly, and in compliance with state law such as Open Meetings Act. Is everybody okay with that? Any notes to be added? Core principles: integrity and impartiality. Council members and council chair must act honestly, avoid conflicts of interest, and serve the public interest above personal gain. Respect and decorum. All participants must address the council respectfully, avoid personal attacks, and refrain from disruptive behavior. Hostile conduct. No swearing, intimidation, yelling, or accusations will be tolerated. You must present your questions respectfully or they will not be answered. Citizen forms. Meeting attendees must sign in on the sign-in sheet provided. At every meeting, a form for public comments will be available. This sheet must be filled out in order to be selected to speak during the public comments portion of the meeting. Public comment is not offered at workshops.
Okay, I have a question. What is the real purpose of the sign-in sheet? Because when we have residents come in and talk, we should be asking them to state their name. And so what is really
That's addressed
any
in this part.
sense of having this?
In this part. So they filled this out ahead of time.
Well, that was my next thing
You
because,
know, because then, like, if you put it on there, I would say, Wendy, sometimes you have a question about water and sewer.
I've seen that in other meetings, and I do have another point with that. I liked how Dwayne came in and spoke the last time where he stood up, said his name and his address. So I thought maybe the address be added.
We could actually do a
That's-
podium, I think, possibly, if we're at the fire hall.
Yeah.
absolutely, they don't have one. They don't have one, but I
Then we'll have to-
absolutely.
Come up, and then people that might have a difficult time getting up will have to adjust to that.
I think this should be an option for people. I don't think that people should be required to have to fill this out to be heard from, because sometimes what they learn in the meeting is what they want to talk about. And then
They
I'm
can-
gonna rush and fill out a slip. I feel like it's karaoke night, fill these
If you
things
want to
out.
wait to the end of the meeting to comment on what happened in the meeting, you just put down general.
What if you don't know until the end of the meeting? I'm just not a fan of this. I think that
Let me explain why we're doing it. This, your turn, your turn, your turn, this one, that one, we stop at all that. So this is filled out, these are up here. The other part of it, which I don't think you got to yet, is if you're interrupting, you're not gonna be talking then. If you choose to keep interrupting, your paper's gonna decide. You've used your 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that was something else you just said, 3 minutes. I think that assigning a time is a good idea. Oh, that's on the next bullet.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think assigning a time is a great idea. I'm not a fan of this filling out a comment sheet. I think it's,
Okay, so it's run by everybody. Angie, what do you think?
I don't think it's a benefit.
The comment sheet,
But you have to come in after you sign in. If you want to comment, you'll have to write your full name down so you'll be addressed.
well, this would be done before the meeting even starts, and
Right.
then what we're gonna do, put them in a basket.
They would be up here and we would just go through the line.
Like you said, if you don't know, then you just put general.
What if someone's late? They missed that time to fill it out.
We should have gone around.
So, Mr. President, you might just leave the list at the end of the table, and then
When they
once
sign
you're
in.
done with the agenda, once you've completed your agenda and it comes time for public comments, somebody could pass the list up. Then as things come up during the meeting, if somebody wants to comment, they could go sign in
Are we,
and still.
are we leaving this whole, or are we?
These would be cut up in little.
So if we cut it up, put it by the door when they walk in, 2 spots, I guess, back at the fire hall, if we put them, and then have every, I don't know. have
Well,
collection
because
plate,
We have to
maybe throw
collect
some
them
money
when
in
we
there
start
and
the
then
meeting.
some.
They have to be up
Or
there.
by
What
the
if you collected them
sign-in
at
sheet,
the
so
end?
to sign in anyway. Just
So
have
at
it
the
right
end,
by
yeah.
the sign-in
So then if
sheet.
they have a question during the meeting, they can,
So besides, okay, so I understand what you're saying about trying to keep the one person at a time talking, that makes sense. But what else does this serve? What other purpose does this serve?
Right now, I think it serves as a structure, and when things change, maybe we'll say we don't want to do this anymore. But right now, and
Right
part
now,
of it is we're trying to support the mayor. These meetings are not going the way they
Controlled.
should,
Absolutely.
They're not controlled.
and
Absolutely.
that's what we're hearing from the public. So I say, for me, let's give it a shot.
Hopefully it'll
And
keep them-
There's gonna be hiccups, we're gonna say, oh, this is.
Hopefully it'll keep everybody from talking over top of each
Right.
other also.
Yeah, I would be more of a fan of asking people to wait their turn to finish, let one person finish before the next one starts. We're all guilty of this room, I'd say. So I think that is where the control point can be more than a paper. I don't know, I think this could make some people uncomfortable and discourage them.
It is
And I don't
done-
want to discourage.
Other places do this.
I've seen it at other places, but, I mean, then other people can read it instead,
Yeah, I have not seen this in any meetings I've attended.
just any, not that I've attended, I've watched online.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm just not a fan.
Okay, Brenda, what do you think?
I think it's fine. Yeah,
Or-
I'm hoping it'll help control the meeting more.
I think we could give it a shot. I mean,
Yeah,
if somebody,
Dumb idea.
I forgot my sign.
All right. Angie?
Yeah, I think maybe we could try it,
Okay.
see how it works, and then if it doesn't pan out,
All right, so
because
we're
they
gonna-
all have to sign in the sign-in sheet anyway.
Did everybody get one of these? And can you hear me on the radio? I can hear you on it, but I don't have one.
We could pass it, I think there's some up there if you want to pass it through. Okay, so let's get the fee policy.
Well, I did
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? I didn't.
You didn't like this.
I no, I didn't. Okay, I'm ready to go. Citizen participation. Participants are limited to 3 minutes. If any time during the agenda portion of the meetings you speak out, you will forfeit your turn to speak during the public comments portion of the meeting. Speakers must address council chair or council directly. So does this have who they want to talk to on it? Is that what you mean? Like, they're asking specifically, like, Dwayne Hoagie's asking Bart Spida, and then his subject?
I think just instead of talking amongst each other, they must direct it to the table at whomever can answer it.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Or it should go to the mayor, and the mayor can also.
or, that, oh,
I mean, if it's something that I don't know, if I was mayor, I would be.
Well, I think-
happy.
sometimes there's questions where, I mean, we all just look at each other like, do you want me to answer it? So maybe it should be directed to one of us, if they know who they want to direct it to.
I think if they know, but a lot of times they're not sure who can answer their question, so I think they're less likely to ask a question if they have to direct it to an individual.
Which we can talk to Dave about it. If there's a question he feels you might be able to answer that, I'm just directing.
I mean, under Robert's rules, it should go to the chair, and then if the chair doesn't know the answer, the chair calls on someone to answer the question. One of the things this might address is the questions that are more personal. You know, I want to ask so-and-so about such and such, and it becomes confrontational. If you just address it to the chair, that would avoid that more personal confrontation. Is what I'm hearing as part of that
So should we
recommendation. Just the way, just leaving it the way it is, it's, you know, you gotta address it to the chair or council and as a whole,
Yes.
and not just add something.
So the podium idea, are you thinking this will take away the need for that?
For a podium?
Yeah, I mean, is this gonna take away the need to have, he mentioned the podium, and I know that I've thought about that before. And what I've seen in most places is somebody does stand up, say their name, their address, and they speak for their time, whether it's questions, comments, whatever. Is this going to take the place of that where the mayor will call on people, so we don't need that?
I would think
I
so.
don't think so.
So if this is a failure.
Again, we're getting away from the picking out and all this stuff and people, I had my hand up first.
So you're
Stop,
saying
you know.
that we won't need the podium because the mayor will say,
Calling them.
Barb Skia, you have
You-
something to talk about.
so then I wouldn't stand up and
You could
say,
stand up.
You could still use a podium.
Yeah, you just have
This
to.
would have to get one.
Right, the speaker would be at the podium.
right, okay, that's my thought too.
So do we need to add a bullet point about the podium somewhere? So that we capture this?
We'll just write it
Well,
down.
we don't have it,
Check it.
right?
We don't have one
We
for
don't
now.
have
but
We have to get it.
The fire.
We're gonna address it
have
when we
one.
stand up.
Mm-mm.
Or you just stand up and state your name and whatever your business is.
I think
I don't think you need to be,
standing on this.
I don't
For
think
now.
you need to spend the money on a podium.
Like Barbara, we're
Ethic, read again. Ethics and conflict of interest. Pecuniary interest, council members must recuse themselves from matters where they or their family have a financial interest. Conflict of interest, council members must recuse themselves from matters where they or their family have a conflict of interest. Enforcement, violations of the code may result in censure, suspension, or removal from the premises. The presiding officer or council president pro temp can issue warning or impose sanctions for misconduct.
comments.
Some of this is already in your codified ordinances.
Yeah.
There's 22003 is an order and decorum on Part P, and it's, in part, it says, "No member, visitor, or guest shall be permitted to disturb or disrupt the meeting by whispering, walking around, or in any other way. Visitors and guests at council meetings should confine their comments to the normal business of council and at all times refrain from attacking members personally, using foul or abusive language, or generally conducting themselves in a disorderly manner. Members of council shall be expected to conduct themselves in an orderly manner, shall not attack visitors personally or allow themselves to be drawn into shouting matches. The presiding officer shall avoid," and in Laos, down here somewhere, I saw for council members to be removed if they don't abide by this rule, and if they're removed, then they don't get paid for that meeting. But do you want to make a copy of this? I'll leave this with Pam and she can make a copy of it and everybody can pick it up or you can give it at the meeting. But I was looking at the same thing because the mayor had asked me about it and it's actually already in there. Already partially,
So we might be
not as clear
rewriting.
as this, but partially in the codified ordinances.
I wrote down the section, I can just make copies.
Okay.
All right, so we're good with code of conduct? We can move on.
Well, hold on, another question. Is this something that needs to be voted on? Can we just accept it? What do we do? How do we make that formal?
Don't we need to review the other one first and come, because it looks like we're overlapping
Right.
with what you just brought up.
Right, so my suggestion would be, look at this one, what you want added to it, we'll have to amend this. And add it to that section of the codified ordinances, then it's an ordinance that can be enforced.
So we can put this on the next meeting agenda for feedback from everybody and make a decision if we're ready to go through
Yes.
with the ordinance revision.
Right, but either way, everybody still has to abide by the code of conduct that's in the ordinances.
Right.
Which,
How do they know that? Yeah, nobody knows that.
well, council should know, so you're gonna get copies of this before you leave. In terms of the public,
So council
Here, I can
should
do it.
know all the ordinances.
You
So
know,
do we have,
they should know how to conduct themselves at a meeting.
I agree, but
But, you know, so that's all that is. The general public, if they're not if they're not conducting themselves with decorum, then it's up to the mayor to call them out and warn them, and then if he deems appropriate, remove them from the meeting. And if they refuse to leave the meeting, then you call the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department comes and removes them. But,
Just this one?
Yes.
yeah, that's the big one. But it's basically what's older words, but it's the same general concepts that are in here.
But you raise a valid point. How do we review all of these ordinances?
If you want to come read them, they're here.
I am not available during the hours that the office is open. That has been a complication that I have faced. So that is one of the issues that I've had with trying to do research and read some of the old documents. So that was one of the things I was going to talk about tonight, is how we can figure out how to accommodate that. Because it is an issue, and part of my obligation is to, as you just said, know these ordinances. And,
No, what I said was it was council's obligation to know how to conduct themselves at a meeting.
well, but as a council person, to be able to review the ordinances and understand and not rewrite ordinances that are already written, you know, that would be a complete waste of everybody's time. And, you know, how do we get to that point? It's certainly something that,
We're never gonna have all of them. That is the basis of the codified ordinances. But we have finally got them all scanned in and sent in to be redone.
will they be uploaded to the website?
When they are done, yes.
Okay, do we have an expected date for that to be completed?
We do not. It took quite some time to get everything to them. And,
Who are they, by the way?
American Legal Publishing, they bought out the company that did it in the past. So we didn't have to start from the ground up with them. So,
They do pretty much everybody's.
yeah, they do pretty much everybody.
Okay, can we move on?
Yes.
All right, the key in media policy, but this, I'm going to read a statement. Like I told you earlier, Gloria is excused, but she left something for me already. Then, President Pro Tem St. Simons, please read the following on my behalf. I have several items I think need to be addressed even in my absence. I would like the council to begin discussions about the 6 benches the village received years ago through a grant. The VFW has asked if we could consider donating the benches to them. As mentioned last meeting, before we go any further, we must confirm with the grantor that donating the benches is allowed under the original grant. If the grantor approves, I personally would like the village to keep at least 3 benches for the Zito parking lot project Sam and I discussed at a prior workshop. To further clarify the Zito subject pertaining to Sam and I, we had a short private discussion last year when we first met on how the Zito parking area could look more presentable. It was winter time, so we decided to save the idea for a spring workshop, which we did.
What's the budget for that
For,
parking lot that you guys are talking about?
we're still kind of in the process of figuring out. 'Cause we
Do we have
did-
any money for that?
I'm sure we do, but we haven't actually made a plan or done anything about it, so.
It's kind of like the sidewalks. The sidewalks, we can't do all of that until we get our sidewalks in.
Do we have that meeting speaking of the sidewalks?
Yeah, we're waiting for the engineer to get his, they still need to present their plan, which was done, they're just updating it, and then it will
Who's
go
gonna
up.
do the sidewalks, do you know?
So that has not
It
happened,
hasn't
that is the
been
whole
yet.
part, they're supposed to.
It hasn't
They told us they would have
been
it
yet.
done.
Okay.
May 15th.
It does have to go for bid.
Yeah.
So what is the steps for the grant that we have that we have to follow?
Once the engineer is done, then the project will go up for bid.
So we were supposed to tear out the sidewalk.
Yes, that was our part, and they wanted that done. We did that, and then we find out that the engineer dropped the ball.
Yeah, that's why.
So,
Yeah. Who's our engineer?
John Smolin. So, yeah, it's kind of,
Is he our engineer or is he the grant engineer?
he is the engineer that we worked with on the grant.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
So we hired, the village hired.
yes, we do.
All right, can I go back? All right.
Do we, I mean, I know she left a statement, but if we're running on time here, should we talk about some of the things that we have on
I'll talk faster.
our agenda that we want to talk about?
I'll talk faster.
Okay.
I reached out to Todd Skeeta and asked him to look over a proposal I made pertaining to the village garage and the lease. I did make the solicitor aware of what I was doing. I would like to bring the proposal to council for discussion and vote if I have Mr. Skeeta's blessing. He has been very busy with work lately, so has not had a chance to reconnect on the subject. If for any reason that does not work out, I do have 2 alternative proposals here. In the meantime, we have to figure out what our options are for having salt for winter. Mr. Skeeta please passed out a letter to council members expressing he does not want new salt bins built on the leased property, which is also attached. So Todd did give us a letter telling us that we cannot build without his permission. Okay, so my question is, can we reinforce the current salt bins in the winter since we are in a time crunch? We can.
Yeah.
My main priority at this time is having salt and safe roads for our residents this winter. I also would like Mayor Dave Drays to reach out to the Spring Factory, Cement Board, and myself and ask if they are interested in selling us an acre of our property. If they are not, I would like Dave Drays to get letters from all entities stating they are not interested in selling. If they are interested in selling, then I would like them to get in writing what their purchase price requirements would be. I will need this information to finalize my proposal, as I may bring counsel. Mr. Draves, please email me this information together. We'll let Dave know that. Next, I would like to address my speech from last meeting. I was not to offend anybody. It was my perspective and documentation of how this environment has left to me since taking office last year, which has been deeply disappointing to me. But on that note, I mean, there is room for many improvements. I've attached a potential key policy for the council to discuss to prevent future arguments and accusations. It is a common sense policy based on each person's listed and job duties. Camille, also like the fiscal officer, to create a video media records policy. She is the keeper of the records. You okay with that?
We do need something, what'd she call it, video media?
Video media records.
Yeah,
policy.
When we get to my section, I think I have some things that we can build on.
Okay.
So,
All right, let me finish this up.
yeah.
The public hearing for the map change has been changed to Monday, July 20th at 5 p.m. due to a change in personal obligations. I know this is elected to discuss in one meeting. I ran on progress, not power, and I'm determined to heal this town somehow. Thank you for hearing this into the records. Gloria Swager, Councilmember, Village Record. Okay, so I probably did not give you guys the key. I did give the key?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but what about this? Are we approving your change on this?
And I still don't know the purpose of having the sign in. I mean, what does it do for us? Besides keep a record of who came and
Which
Do we
needs to
really-
be kept as a record.
why. I mean, is it an ordinance that we have to keep a record of what residents attended the meeting? So I've been some places they have and some that don't.
I mean,
So,
Anyone I've gone to has a sign in.
yeah, that, I know that yeah, it does. But I've been to other council meetings, they don't.
Well, I've been to some and I don't sign it. So is it in the ordinance that we have to sign in? Or that we require signing?
no, it's not in the ordinance, you require a sign-in. If you read the sign-in sheet though, it does put people on notice to what the policy, the decorum policy is. So if the sheriff is called in to enforce it, they can't say, I didn't know, because they signed it. So if nothing else, they're signing in to agree to the behavior
They
policy.
didn't know that they should
Right, I
not
mean,
be disruptive.
well, I mean, but
Well, that's why we're
they
doing
can't,
this stuff.
that, this way they can't say they didn't know, right, that there was no swearing, intimidation, yelling, or
I was
anything.
at a meeting that, I mean, there was people down in this room last year and they didn't even get into here
Yeah,
to be able to sign in. So,
like, I don't even think everybody knew that who was even out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, I remember what you're talking about.
That's why we're going to fire off. First.
No,
So I'm just saying, like, they didn't sign in.
I mean, I feel like if we're going to start our meetings with a reminder of the rules, this isn't needed. I don't know. It just seems like an extra.
We need to get control over,
Yeah, but I don't think this is gonna do it.
But what does it hurt?
It just seems like a waste. It doesn't hurt anything. It just seems wasteful. I don't know. Half the people are gonna sign it, and half the people aren't. That's what they do now.
or yes, no.
I don't see how it can hurt, but like she said, I think half the people sign it and half won't.
So yes.
So,
I don't think it'll hurt, but I don't think it'll help either.
Angie,
I've always signed it. We've always had the sign-in sheet.
Brenda,
I think they should sign in.
I want to try it.
do we do anything with the sign-in sheets?
I think it's attached to the minutes.
Okay.
And there have been times when we have had to verify that people were here, so the sign-in sheet is a good idea.
Verify for it.
And when things have come up, issues have come up,
Well, there's a lot of people I don't know, and I said, who was that? And then we figured it out from the sign.
They're touchable minutes.
yes,
And I like that, Brenda, too. Like, there's people that I don't know.
There is
And
a
they
lot.
don't say their names before
Right,
they start
right.
speaking, and then we find out later, like, oh, that was,
That one's all.
yeah.
yes. Yeah, they get attached to the minutes every month.
Okay, so back to the key. You ready? Yes, I'll go. All right. This is Gloria's suggestions. Okay, employee office keys. Each employee shall be issued one key to their assigned office. No employee may possess keys to another employee's office unless council votes to authorize an exception beyond what's described in the policy. The fiscal officer. Office, records room, utility clerk's room. The fiscal officer shall be issued keys to the office, the records room, the utility clerk's office. The fiscal officer is the keeper of the records. No additional access may be granted without council authorization. Utility clerk. The utility clerk will have keys to the following: their office, conference room. No additional access will be granted without council approval. Mayor and President Pro Tem, conference room. The mayor and President Pro Tem shall be issued keys to the conference room. No other individual may receive a conference room key without council authorization. Administrator. The administrator shall be issued keys to the following: the conference room, the sewer plant, village garage, equipment and additional access to authorized only by council.
She needs, she shares my office.
That is true.
Okay, we get that. And,
Yes.
But
But
my little
my
desk.
doors are locked, so she cannot
Yeah.
access.
And I wouldn't have a key for that.
All right, zoning inspector, the conference room, the zoning inspector shall be issued a key to the conference room authorized by council. No additional facilities access will be granted without council approval. Maintenance workers, sewer plant and garage. The 2 designated maintenance workers shall be issued keys to the sewer plant, the village garage, equipment as approved by administrator. No additional access will be granted without council authorization. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Council members, no keys will be given to council members without authorization from entire council first. Future village hall. Front door access if a new village hall is ever constructed. Council shall authorize front door keys for mayor, administrator, utility clerk, fiscal officer, president pro tem. This policy will be updated by council for any additional facilities constructed in the future season.
So with this proposal, the only person I see having a key to the records room is the fiscal officer.
Yes.
So to go through any of the records in the records room, the fiscal officer would have to let anybody in to do that. Because that's what I did the one day, was try to go through some of the old records. And utility clerk let me in to do so.
It's securing our records. They need to be secure.
Well, I mean, so there's a concern that anyone on this, at this table is going to be reckless with our records?
No, there's a concern that when the state auditor comes in and says, are your records secured, your original records secured, the fiscal officer has to certify that they're secured, and she can't do that unless she's secured them.
It just seems very limited. It makes me nervous to have one individual and that's it. I mean, the mayor, in the very least, I would think would have keys to actually everything. I don't know why the mayor wouldn't have keys to absolutely everything.
I don't think that's what I don't think the state auditor would approve that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think it's best practice.
Find that out.
The state auditor's not gonna tell you, no, you can't give the mayor keys. They're gonna tell you the best practice is the keys to the fiscal office is limited to the fiscal office.
What's in there? What do we need in there?
Nothing.
I reviewed old minutes. I sat for over an hour just to review 2018 minutes. And it was educational.
So that's what's in the record room?
Pretty much. And storage of things that we have, but yes, that's where all the original documents are kept.
So original ordinances, original fiscal records, original checks, all of that.
And there
is-
are so many things that are missing from before my time. That's one reason I'm concerned about it, I will say. There's been many times I've gone to look for documents that are just not here. As to what happened to them over the years, I don't know. I don't really want to speculate, but I can tell you they're not here. So I
We're
feel
securing, we're making sure.
I
that
feel
our
we need to be
documents-
more careful.
And you're the one that's responsible for
So
Yes.
if there was a need for us to read them as council, then you would have to,
Yeah, you can come in anytime I'm here.
Well, that's part of my problem. My work schedule doesn't permit me to come in when you're here. So when you make arrangements to meet me, whenever I have some time available, whether it's the evening or a Saturday.
If I'm
Or Sunday.
available, but I mean,
Yeah, see, this is where I feel like we're getting. I feel like as council members, we have an obligation to try to learn this and understand what's the ordinances for our village, but we can't get to them. And that's what is concerning to me. And without knowing when,
well, it
these,
is also my responsibility to make sure, like she said, that is my legal responsibility to make sure that they are secure.
And to the state auditor.
So I have a copy of the ordinance book, and I'll be happy to bring it to you and loan it to you anytime.
But it doesn't have, it only has up to what date? It has everything that's not been codified yet, right?
It's supposed to be accurate, complete.
I would love to borrow a copy.
You can borrow one of these, I told you that before.
But you said it doesn't have everything.
It doesn't, that's, yeah, that, which is,
I will take you up on that to start.
Okay, Barb,
I don't see why not.
yes, that's a yes.
Yes.
Angie,
Yeah,
Brenda.
yes.
I still think we should consider the mayor and his authority. I mean,
The mayor.
the mayor has a key to the conference room and that's it. That's what I'm reading on here.
What do other mayors have access to and other villages?
no other mayor here has had access before.
What about other surrounding? Can we check on that then? Like bring our notes back?
Lauren did ask, she early on emailed the auditor, because Dave wanted to be trained in her system. And they emailed her back and said that they didn't recommend that, and she asked about him having a key, and, did you have any more when you were asking? They said that, they can't recommend that she needed to talk to her supervisor, which Chloe didn't want to comment on that either. And then they recommended it go to the solicitor, but they didn't want to make a recommendation on that. But they most certainly did not say yes, give him a key.
Well, I think if the mayor comes in when you and Lauren are here, I mean, I'm sure you guys are willing to work with him and anything he needs to see,
Yes.
you know.
I mean, they don't recommend that he use her program and do her job, which she tried to explain to him, but she did have to contact the auditors,
Sure.
because he was pretty insistent on that.
So I think that sounds more like a cross training. Do you and Lauren both know how to do each other's jobs?
I used to do Lauren's job, so yes, I do. She is not allowed to do mine.
So who is your backup?
I don't really have a backup, but UAN would provide one should we need it. Because they would have to have the training, so like Lauren, she doesn't have that, but UAN would provide something.
So how about we each pick a village to reach out to and see what they have? And so we talk to a couple others and see what they have,
With their mayors?
and what they have overall. I mean, we have, how many villages do we have around here?
So I just
Similar to us.
texted the village solicitor for Orwell, and he said the village administrator would have all of the keys necessary. He believes the police chief has keys too.
And that's
So,
and Dave's, as mayor, the mayor is the highest legal enforcement authority in the village, right?
So because we don't have a police chief, he would be the one that has to go arrest criminals.
Actually, David, administrator.
no, he doesn't have the authority for arresting criminals. No. But why don't you?
Arrest, it's an address.
Oh, sorry. I honest to God, I miss arrest. I'm sorry. It's been a
All
long
right, so what are we
day.
going to do with the keys?
I think we should treat that as what you said.
I say yes, go with this suggestion.
So that's 4.
That's cool.
Okay, water and sewer, I have nothing. All right, safety. Barb, anything?
Yeah, I was told that.
Where's my pen, guys?
Coy, can you grab some of the pen?
Always scared of having two pens, but they're really good.
Good pens.
Do we have, do we utilize that?
2 years old.
We do not,
I printed off like some information on it for us, the good things about. Yes, oh, here.
Together, stuck together.
Here, is that one? Yeah.
She's got one. Oh, we got one? We'll take them.
oh, did you get, like, if you get pages, you should go forward or not?
Sorry. Like, so this is, we just, is like an investment holding bank account. So I printed off the booklet for Pam, so she has it, but I just thought this would be something where we can put some, maybe our general fund money in there to build high interest.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at it.
Safety, we talked about, the potholes again.
Yeah, I'm getting quotes for like all of the road work that we need done.
Okay,
I'm supposed to get them this week, so those would be included in that.
did we reach out to the, the county engineer, what's his name, Martin?
Mm-mm.
Didn't they do something for us and it was cheaper and?
They will usually only do that if they're not busy themselves.
I mean, I can definitely,
Yeah,
definitely
we
work
can reach out, but
all.
normally he won't actually do work for us, but he will come for guidance a lot. He does that a lot for us.
Okay.
But once in a blue moon, we can get him to
Do because it was a curve and I thought he would be a little cheaper than.
Oh, he definitely would be if he could do it, but normally if we get him to do something, it's like at the end of the season if they're done with something, but
I'll reach out.
or if they're
It's worth a
you
call.
know doing something coming this way and then they'll
I tried the engineer township, sorry. So you said engineer, but it sounds like you're talking township.
no.
No, yeah, it would be engineer, county engineer.
County engineer,
Yeah.
okay.
You have a question Joe, about the curb?
The curb.
You,
On East Water
way up
Ronnie's
there.
The water
Okay.
transfer.
Oh, yeah, that would be included in that. Fixing the road, the cracks, all the road work in town. Beginning,
And that's
I
stuff
haven't got the quotes yet, but
you
I did
guys
reach out.
To Canada, correct?
No, not like big sections. It would take us way too long. And we don't have the right equipment.
And then we talked about the basins being so low. What about extenders?
Was that about
Risers.
45?
Risers.
Oh, for the,
What kind of
Storm
jumping
drains?
that? Because she wants to, this is the one that stuff, correct? You were talking
No.
about?
Oh, I
No,
thought
that would
you
be
wanted me to
different.
say safety.
No,
stuff.
no, that's fine.
No, go ahead, it's just,
Okay.
Are you talking about like the risers for like some of the storm drains on the roads? Yeah, I can look into that. Do you have like any specific ones?
I don't know, I hit one today in the car.
High Street.
That's High Street, it was on High Street, and then what about in the library, like their parking lot part? That isn't our responsibility. And then we
No, if it's in their
Yeah.
parking lot, no.
And then what about Route 45 in front of, BMW, that either? So, so High Street was one of them, but the others aren't our responsibility, so what do we do with those?
I could notify
at this point.
them that that we think it's a concern.
Did they get back to a couple lines today?
I don't know. I didn't check. It was at the end of the day. I'll look tomorrow though.
Okay, anything else specifically?
I have a question on safety. On the East Water Street, there's the,
I'd like to know if we could put, reflectors on the guardrail, there's a guardrail on East Water Street.
That one that go across
Yeah,
the road?
yeah, one across the
Oh,
curve.
that's a
There's
good
no-
idea.
There's no reflectors on it.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
A couple of times this summer, I've been outside to water plants late at night because it's cooler. I've seen, they come and flying down the road and they almost biffed it 3 or 4 times. I mean, different people, not just, trucks or cars, even bikes. Seeing kids at 11:30 at night flying down that curve, 140 mile an
Yeah,
hour.
so that's a good idea.
Yeah, there's no
Let's
reflectors
just
on it.
do it.
Yeah. Either paint or reflectors. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll look into that. That's a good idea.
Anything else?
Well, another thing we brought up was like a code enforcement for like any new establishments. We established a standard for new construction coming into the downtown area, like Route 45. If they update stuff, like where we're putting the new sidewalks. So all the way from like the creek to the school. So, like the style, the color, the material, so for any future development that's coming in.
That's building code, right?
Is it, I don't know.
Is that building code? or is that-
We talked about it. It would be like Hudson has a code that if you build something, I'm not, they have a code that if you build a house, it has to maybe look like the rest of the houses. That type of stuff. That's what we were talking about, correct?
But, so it looks uniform and nice when we start doing some updating. When people update. I know years ago they had talked about, like a revitalized downtown. And, we were gonna look into grants for the businesses to then update their buildings. So, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we've applied for several, just,
Yeah, so like if we do something like that they all
Could
start
you
looking
put
like.
something together, sort of like a color, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something on paper, and then you could say it for the next workshop. Just a-
Is this crossing the lines with planning commission though? Sounds, it sounds like something we should be rolling. Gloria, planning commission, probably.
do something,
Okay.
and then we'll bring it up at the next.
Okay.
All right. So streets.
Chloe?
Chloe got some stuff.
I called, what's his name, Jim from ODOT, just asked him a few questions about the chip and seal project. And he said that it would obviously be no cost to the village. It would just, council would have to pass legislation that was basically just allowing ODOT to work in the village. And then I asked him specifically how much it would raise the road, because I know there was some concerns about that. And he asked the people, and they said it would only be 1/4 of an inch. And I did get that in an email. So, just pass those around. Yeah, sorry. It definitely won't raise the road very much at all. And I know that was the main concern that at least I heard, that it was going to raise the road a lot, just 1/4 of an inch. And then I also asked him about moving the center line back 12 inches to the east, because last time they resurfaced the road, they moved it 12 inches to the west. And I said that, when we have trucks parked there, people have to cross left of center, and it's a bit of a safety hazard. And I haven't got anything back yet, but I did ask him if that would be possible for them just to move it back to where it was. I'm waiting on a response.
Help a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
I do have something else, since you brought that up, I forgot. I did ask the township to mow the station and, where Major's Crossing, what road is that?
Jefferson? Oh, okay.
And they said that they would, but they needed to get a hold of you
Okay,
to
I'll
coordinate
call
with
him.
Aaron, to,
Yeah.
like, Aaron can walk in front of them
Yeah.
and, like, tell
oh,
them.
yeah, I'll call him.
Okay, thanks. Abe LaRosa?
Yeah, I have his number.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, good. All right, now we need to talk about the salt bins. So where are we? We need salt, we're running out of time. Okay, we just got this.
That's gonna take an executive session.
All right, can we do this? Can I ask a little bit of history?
What is that?
Sure. Just the history of the Tohoku Weeks.
Yeah.
All right. The history of the property. Does anyone know how the lease, from what I understand, for anybody, it was like a gift, I guess, to the village, which gave us 99 years use of that property. We own the building, correct? Todsky and Barsky own the property with the lease. So the lease was done, there was one owner, sold to another owner, and then Stevens acquired the property. I am not a lawyer, obviously, but the lease looks like a lease. Leases are not all the same, but it states. So what are we doing to solve that?
So we can, reinforce them for this winter if we have to, but that's not gonna last more than one winter. So, and we don't really have any other place to put them. We don't have any other property.
How soon do you have to order salt? Like right away,
Yeah,
pretty much?
pretty much, yeah.
Wendy, any questions?
Not on that. No, but I had some other topics.
Angie?
If we reinforce them and then order our salt and put it off till we find a different place to put them or purchase property to build new salt bins. Maybe that is what we do for now. I think we, like she said, reinforce them for now since we're on a time crunch. But I think we need to settle this lease one way or the other. I think it's going to be an ongoing problem.
Well, there's,
And
what,
I don't know about
55 years
anybody
left?
else, but I'm about tired of it. So I think we need to solve it. Whether we go to court, what we have to do, I really feel we need to solve it.
All right. So, reinforce, what has salt?
So I think
I
we're
mean,
gonna
we-
have to put it on the agenda for
So if
an executive session.
we can't come to any sort of agreement before
We can't do that tonight.
we need salt, then,
No, that's to be
Okay.
on.
I mean, we'll
put it
do
on
what
the
we have to
It'll
do.
be on our
for
agenda
our
2
meeting,
weeks from now.
our meeting.
I thought the problem was, the way the salt bin was facing,
That is an.
Well, yeah, that
yeah,
is,
Angie's property.
Yeah, it faces my, yeah.
The truck, yeah,
From
and in there,
the
so they're gonna have
The
to
way
put
the
like
line,
your
the way
trees
the
down.
line goes and whatnot,
That was in the other side.
because the trees are
I mean, if we
growing.
rebuild them, yeah, it would be flipped. So we can, the trucks can move
And
now.
the line
Just
is
rebuild them
now
and flip them.
screwed.
That's what I
wouldn't
want.
even say
Them to hear it.
Just rebuild them.
The line is now kind of built up and whatnot. I know, is that dirt that's sitting in front of it? Salt bins?
That's our grit.
Oh.
We're trying to move it
Yeah,
little by
okay.
little when we have
Well,
time.
Yeah, I don't go down there, but, yeah, I've got to, the trees have grown up and whatnot, so, and there's not a whole lot of room
pulling in there because when it goes where the property line goes, it goes in an angle, and they actually settle on her property. But you pull in my property, turn your truck and back it up dump. So it's,
Chloe, our plan was to build on the other side.
To flip them so that one, they wouldn't have to be on
They
Angie's
just pull
property.
in and dump,
and
get
two,
out, and you guys would pull.
That way it'd be easier for the trucks to actually get in and out, because that's a big problem they have now. They get stuck all.
Anything else, consultants?
With the quarter inch on that road, if we top it, what's that gonna do? Are we able to grind that down
They wouldn't be grinding it down, they would just be,
on top?
yeah, it would just be on top. But they did say it would only be a quarter of an
It's
inch.
like the sidewalks right there, we're not removing those sidewalks for the grant in front of like the BMW and stuff.
No,
There's some spots are really like almost flush, and I'm just worried about when it rains, if that is just gonna make it worse for those businesses right there.
I don't know. They said chip and seal was not,
Just a concern.
yes, well, that's, but they do not grind down. It's just a chip and seal. They said quarter of an inch at most is, that's the information from them. That's,
Would that be something that we would look into, maybe contracting it to grind it down?
it's a state road, we cannot,
Yeah,
it's not our road.
They won't allow
Oh, no,
the idea of that.
no.
They just keep piling it up.
When they, well, it's, at some point, when they repay, they do.
They,
grind it.
yeah, they take it all out.
But with the chip and seal, they don't. And unfortunately, we can't make them. It's their road. I mean,
And they don't have any thoughts of repaving, just they want to chip and seal.
Not just chip and seal.
they're doing to a lot of the main roads, like,
Yeah.
what, 307, I think they're doing.
Yeah, they just did that, yeah.
yeah, so
This must be the year that they're just doing chip and seal.
they did a lot of that last year too. So,
Okay, are we done?
well, I have a number of items. Will this have to be on the agenda? We voted on that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so, we did have a meet and greet. Barbara and I have some feedback from that we wanted to go through. There's quite a few items on there. But since we canceled the last workshop, we're now kind of, it's been a little bit of time in between there, so I hate to let it continue to go without getting this in front of council so that the members, the residents who did express some like things to us, could have that for, you know,
Okay. You want me to read it?
Yeah, I guess we should just go through the points and we can send copies or leave a copy to get through.
Meet and greet feedback. Can anything be done to slow down the traffic coming into town by Majors Crossing? Request to make all downtown parking parallel. There is a puddle in the public parking lot in front of Zitto. The puddle is always there even after 12 days with no rain. This seems a clear indication of a water leak. Zitto property looks better, but there is still room for improvement. Fix the public parking lot. Homeowners on Sloat and Lockton express they do not have any desire to see Sloat Avenue changed from residential to commercial. Suggest if any new streets are created in Rock Creek, they be named after Dave Walkley, as he was an artist from Rock Creek.
That's actually right. Yeah, I showed you that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Move meetings to the fire hall so attendees are more comfortable and see and hear the meetings. Power wash downtown for some general sprucing up. Ask the downtown businesses to participate in some cleanup day. Clean up the log cabin, cut back brush, etc.
We just
Is it
talked
feasible
about
to
that.
be fixed up and utilized? These are just from the meeting right there.
Okay.
Request time limit to be fixed. Request time limits to fix buildings that have been purchased, specifically the corner building, the All Points Realty building, and the brick building between All Points and the VFW building code in parentheses. Is the property around railroad and station zone commercial? Where is the mayor's office? He needs dedicated office space. Why can't I reach the mayor by phone, by phoning the village hall? Full-time employees at the village hall. We are a small town and may not always agree, but the negativity should stop. Remove the planters in front of the VFW, especially the ones blocking the handicap parking. They have turned into trash receptacles. Why is the fiscal officer at the table for the planning commission meetings? Have we applied for any Civil War preservation grants? Could they be used to restore the bridge to the cemetery? Could it become a walking bridge at least? Could we create a walking path, maybe from the bridge to the park? Is there any updates about the bridge mural? This may be a VFW question.
Just talked to them yesterday.
Allegedly, there is a doctor office in town. Why is there no sign? What does this doctor do? Route 45 is the busiest street in Ashtabula. Revitalization of the area on Route 45 is recommended. Appalachian Regional Commission. Why didn't Rock Creek attend and apply for this grant? Rock Creek needs to have a written plan and building code. The commissioners will help with grants. Suggestions. Economic Development, Homeland Security, National Fund, Infrastructure, EMA, Emergency Migration. Reach out to Dave Joyce office, Governor, Office of Appalachia, Advanced Energy Fund, Matching, Brownfield Opportunities.
Is that it?
Yeah, so we asked people to write on sticky notes and post little note cards, and they left them.
Can you give us a copy? Because some of this stuff is addressed or being worked
So
on.
some of it's already been.
And
Yeah, I think we've talked
some of
about
the stuff even tonight, you're talking about a building probably wrong.
Some of it check off the list.
So we could, yes, and at least get back and let people know, or the things that are stopping us from doing.
Yeah, would we consider doing another meet and greet with the residents? With more
Can
council?
we bring that up at our next workshop meeting? Well, just so we can plan it, I mean, plan a little bit better or whatever, more structured.
Maybe when everyone's here.
Right,
What?
Dave's not here and Gordon's not here, so. I feel good because there's stuff on there that is being addressed. Some of the stuff was explained, why this or that, but that's what we go back to.
I
and go-
Yeah.
It's old, I mean, but we,
It's not wrong, it's just, the problem is that
No.
we're not,
the notes are old from our meet and greet.
yes,
It's been
but,
a couple months, so that's why there's some overlap here.
we'll address it, we'll get back to the public basically and say, explain what's going on. So what we're gonna do is try to communicate better so people understand. Maybe something's not happening as quick, but there's reasons for it.
What is our means of communication to the public?
But, I mean, I could stop, you could stop, you go somewhere, somebody will ask you a question. You know, what are you doing with this? And
Yeah.
I don't always have the answer. And I don't want to if I don't have the answer, I can't answer it. So I want to make sure that I have the correct answer. But don't you get stuff? Don't they say, aren't you on council? You haven't gotten that yet? You get it. You get up with it, right? So, okay, is there anything else?
Yeah, I had a few questions. Sam, one of the things I had asked you specifically, if you and I could get together, and I'm very happy tonight to see that it feels like we're at a turning point, I hope, in this council, and we're trying to work towards a better future instead of concentrating on past. So one of the things I thought is if you and I try to get to know each other more personally, and you turned me down, you said you were advised.
I'm not ready yet.
Huh?
I'm not ready yet.
Well, who advised you not to talk to me? It's more curious
That's
about.
my,
Okay, I didn't know
That's
somebody
my
would be
personal-
against us getting to know each other.
no.
So I thought that would be a great way to start. I'd like
Maybe
to
if
do
we
the same
continue
with
like this,
everybody.
but right now the answer's,
I'd
I'm not
like
ready.
to do the same with everybody. I mean, I think it's beneficial for us to work together better and our residents to have us work together.
I think we made progress tonight.
So I think so too. I do have some questions on some of our funds, Pam. If you could, the employee payroll, we don't have an employee payroll fund, right?
No, it comes out of different funds.
Okay, could you tell me where, like, each of our paid employees, which funds they're paid from?
It depends on how they work, where they work.
We break it down day by day.
Yes,
So, the fiscal officer, what fund is that paid from?
I'm paid from mostly general and a little bit out of every other. Like a little bit out of streets, a little bit out of water, a little bit out of
Do you have
sewer.
a set percentage?
Yes, I would
Okay.
look that up. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yes, a little bit out of everything, but mostly general.
Okay. Utility clerk then? I'm
She is-
guessing
yes.
water?
Mostly, but she also will do some general duties, so she does have a little bit of general as well.
So that's operating funds then, sewer and water operating funds, right?
Yes, that's all we have really from sewer and water.
Sewer, water operating, and you said, did you say general was the other one she comes out of?
Yes,
And then, for the administrator, is that the same?
It would be
hers is
day by day.
wherever she works.
Okay, so
Same
that-
with Aaron and Dan, that would be
So
the
those all
hours.
come from sewer,
Water,
water,
water, streets,
General.
Park,
in general.
Park is general.
Yeah, so it would be whatever they are doing, so if they work 20 hours in sewer this week, they're paid 20 hours out of sewer, and 10 hours wherever they work, whatever category,
sewer, water, streets,
in general.
and general. Okay, and that's for all of them. And then for council and mayor,
General,
all general.
and solicitor is general. Zoning is general.
Our wastewater operator would be sewer.
Right.
He's all sewer. Okay. Logical. All right, thank you. I did have a few things that I wanted to present. I know it's short on time. If we want me to hold off on these things till the next meeting, I will, but I certainly would like to be allowed some time to present some new ideas. So I will ask council if you would like to table this, or I could email each of you something to think about before the next workshop.
Yes, please.
I mean, we
I
can
would
do
say
that.
let's do that, because then
Hold
we
off.
have something
Yeah,
for us
that's
to look at.
okay. Do we want to start communicating in email? I mean, I want to be cautious because we have to be careful what we can email, like, right? I mean,
You can't email,
all of council because then it's not a.
you
open
can
public
email
record?
information to council,
Okay,
okay? Like you could take whatever that is, scan it and email it to everybody.
okay.
If they respond,
It becomes a.
then it becomes a public meeting. That's the problem. when you start responding, it becomes a public meeting. Whatever you send is a public record.
Okay, so it could be a for your information, for your review, in
Yes.
preparation for the meeting.
Yes.
And we could all be doing that for each
Yes.
other, and that will help us when we come in here.
And just make sure that you send it to Pam so that she can keep it as a public record. Yeah, it's good to know.
I did have something else, sorry. We talked about a, fire extinguisher, training for the residents. And, when I talked to the chief, he said this August 6th or the 12th, do we want to try to plan something like that for next month, or do we want to wait? That was a safety thing, I slipped my mind.
He's doing the training, correct? I'm confused.
He would have to do the training, yes.
All right, so we just need to see who wants.
Well, it's for, like the safety committee, so the safety committee is initiating something for our residents.
Be like a sign up.
It would just be open to the public, and they can come and be at the fire hall.
Oh, so basically on this day, everyone can come and that kind of thing? Oh, okay.
But I didn't know if I could go ahead and schedule that with him, but I was asking him what days, because this is something that we had talked about, and I haven't been able to nail down a date for him to do it, so. It'd be the village doing it for the village residents, so I wanted to make sure that I talked to everybody about
Did
it,
he give you any tentatives?
the 6th and 12th.
Oh, 6 and 12.
So it was a Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's August, right?
It's a good idea.
Just some two or three, but.
All right.
Are we done?
I think so.
Done?
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
all right.
did you get Debbie's check?
Yes, yes.
I'm stopping the
Okay.